By the end of this video, you will know exactly how much to spend on your farm, how to calculate the right size so that you can actually stay consistent, and the 3 places you need to show up and when to build the kind of presence that turns a neighborhood into a lead source instead of just a money pit. I want to tell you about a pattern I see over and over and over again with agents who try to farm and end up quitting. They get really excited, they pick a neighborhood, and usually it's a big one because bigger feels like there's more opportunity. They send 1 round of mailers, maybe 2, because, why not? They knock on a handful of doors and then nothing happens. And somewhere around month 3 or 4, they decide that farming doesn't work. It's an outdated and antiquated way of getting business, so they walk away. Meanwhile, here's what actually happened. They didn't fail at farming, they failed at math, which I think we've all been there. They picked a farm they couldn't afford to work consistently, and they spread themselves across too many houses. They ran out of budget or patience or time before the neighborhood ever even got a chance to recognize who they were. Farming doesn't fail. Underfunded, oversized, inconsistent farming fails. And today I'm going to show you how to build a farm that you can actually sustain, what to spend, when to spend it, and exactly where you need to be to show up. Stick with me to the section where I show you the 3 places that you need to show up, because that is the piece that separates agents who are sending mailers into a void from agents who are actually building name recognition. And that's coming up. It is the difference between farming that feels like a bill and farming that feels like momentum. Before we get into the numbers, I want to give you the reframe that will end up making all this make sense. Consistency is not a discipline problem. It is a design problem. If you are struggling to stay consistent with your farm, then that farm is probably too big for your budget or time, and that's it. Really not a motivation issue, it's not a systems issue. You have simply taken on more houses than your current income or time can support at the frequency needed for it to actually work. And the fix is, you're welcome, not to push harder. The fix is to do the math first, find the right sized farm before you ever spend a single dollar. Here is the number that I want you to start with. What can you spend every single month on your farm without hurting? I don't want you to give me a stretch goal. This isn't a best case scenario. The number that you could write that check on a slow month and not even feel it. That might be 0. That's your farming budget, and your farm size flows directly from it. Let's talk about the math for just a second, because you have to account for the mailers or the postage that you're going to want to be sending out. And if you want to mail your farm once a month, once a quarter, 8 times a year, whatever, you need to do it enough to build recognition, which means that you need to go ahead and math out how much it's going to cost to mail your farm that much in frequency every single year. And if that hurts, probably don't do that much to start, or do a smaller market. You'll have things like EDDM, or you could just do regular post. For like postcards, you could do letters in the mail where you just have to pay for postage stamps and envelopes. You can print at the office printer. There's lots of ways that you can make mailing budget friendly. So I want you to go in and figure out, okay, this is the farm that I'm considering mailing to. And if it's 700 houses, you could be spending $350 to $1,000 on mailers every single time you want to send a mailer. Kind of depends. So you need to really consider how much that it's going to cost for the market size that you've chosen so far. And if that is outside of the budget that you have to spend, you need to consider the free options for mailing, which is sweat equity. Because here's the part that most agents skip. The cost of mailing doesn't go down as you scale up. You're getting bulk mail pricing, but it's still going to cost more. So what changes is your total spend. More houses equals more dollars every single month, whether you're busy or slow. And since the name of the game is consistency, you need to pick something that you can regularly manage. This is why I tell agents who are just starting to pick a farm that has 100 to 250 homes. And I know that that doesn't sound like a lot. And if your budget far outweighs the 250 homes, then by all means, get a bigger farm. That's great. Good for you. This video is for the agents who want the strategy and can understand that scale is based on you and your preference. Now, when I started my farm had 100 homes in it. I quickly expanded, but I had radiuses. So I had my tight knit radius of 100 homes that I was going to hit almost weekly in a certain capacity. I was going to be able to walk that far, or I was going to be able to ride the golf cart that far. And then I had a radius of 250 homes that I could mail quarterly. And that was gonna be how often that I could touch 250 homes. So 100 homes I was able to touch somewhere in the realm of like 12 to 36 times a year, especially since those quickly became my friends and I was able to see them all the time. And then the 250 homes I was able to touch with them 4 to 12 times a year. And that just all depends on if I was able to give every single one of them a CMA. I had a plan for different amounts of homes. I can touch 100 homes 12 times a year, 250 homes 8 times a year, and 700 homes, I don't know, you name it, 4 times a year, 2 times a year, whatever. It's brand recognition across all of these homes. Neighbors talk to neighbors. And it's about making sure that your budget, your time, the sweat equity that you have fits into the amount of homes that you're trying to service. Because as a farm, what you're doing is providing a service. And the key is that when you close a deal, you reinvest that money right back. A small farm that you work consistently for 18 months will outperform a large farm that you work 4 months one time. Real quick, if you haven't already grabbed my free social media starter guide, go do that right now. The link is in the description, because what we're building with your farm in person needs to be running in parallel with what you're building online. And that guide gives you the content foundation to make both work together. Grab it and let's keep on going. Okay. Your budget is set, your farm is the right size. Now let's talk about where to actually show up, because mailers alone are not a farming strategy. They are one layer of a farming strategy. There are 3 presence layers every serious farmer needs to be working, and you can think of them as physical, digital, and relational. The first layer is your physical presence. This is your mailers, your door knocking, your in-person touches. Mailers go out quarterly, monthly. They can be market update postcards, just sold announcements from the neighborhood, seasonal touches. The goal is that whenever a homeowner in your farm walks to their mailbox, your name is a familiar face before they ever even need an agent. And don't let anybody tell you that door knocking is dead. It can be uncomfortable, and that is exactly why most agents won't do it, which means the ones who do stand out immediately. You don't need a script, you need a reason. I just wanted to drop off the latest market update for the neighborhood. That's it. You're not pitching, you're just being present. You're being of service to the neighbors. Hi neighbor, I'm just like you and I'm curious about the market. This is a quick little print. Layer 2 is your digital presence. This is your content, and I covered all of this in the farming intro video mostly, but to connect everything here. So your online presence in a farm area is where a homeowner finds you when they Google or stumble across your Instagram at 11 p.m. before they've ever even decided to call anybody. Don't just do this though, just listed in the neighborhood with a photo of the house. That's an ad for the seller. It does nothing to establish you as the neighborhood expert. Instead, send something out like, or post, here's what's happening in this neighborhood right now. 3 homes sold last month, average days on market was 11, and here is what that means if you're thinking about making a move this spring. That's market authority. That is a post that the homeowner saves and comes back to, sends you a DM. Oh, really? Which one sold? How much did that one sell for? I saw it sat for a while. Layer 3 is your relational presence. And this is a layer that no mailer can replace, no money can replace. It's the local business pop, the Facebook group that you joined and you participate in, the community that you show up to, and you don't just prospect, you're just being a neighbor over time, and people can feel you being there and not like they're being hunted while you're there. When all 3 layers are running together, the physical, digital, and relational, the farm stops feeling like a strategy and it starts feeling like a reputation. And reputation is what gets you the call. The last piece is timing. So when do you spend more and when do you grow the farm? The answer is very simple, but most agents get it totally backwards. They start big and scale back when money gets tight. You want to do just the opposite. Start small, stay consistent, and reinvest the wins. Here's the rule I use. When your farm produces a closed transaction, a portion of that commission goes back into expanding the boundary. Not all of it, not into a new farm, just into growing the existing one. Maybe 25 to 50 more homes added to the edge of where you're already working, or you're going to add an additional touch point to deepen your current asset. The agents who tried to jump to a 500 home market in the first month, get excited, and they end up being dried up because the consistency wasn't able to be there. And that's what compounds. The whole compounding point is consistency. So please don't do this. Please don't pick a 600 home farm on a $150 a month budget, mail every other month when you can't afford it. That's not farming. That's occasional advertising, and it's not going to build your recognition. Instead, pick 150 intentional homes, mail them every single month, walk the neighborhood every single week, post one piece of market content about that area per week, and do that all for 12 months without stopping. Then grow. Drop a comment below and tell me, what size farm are you working right now? Or are you starting with a certain size? And as always, drop your market. I want to know where we're building this community together. The agent who watches this video does the math, picks a realistic size farm, and commits to 12 months of consistency. That agent is going to have a story to tell a year from now, and I want to hear it in the comments when that happens. That is what next level agents do. They do the work before the work ever pays off. They right size their strategy, they protect their consistency, and they stay even when everyone else wants to walk away. That is this community, and I'm so glad that you're in it. Here are 3 things you need to do which will build on each other. 1, decide your monthly farming budget. Write the number down, and really don't do what you wish it was. What is it actually right now? And it's okay if it's 0 or you feel like it's minimal. Sweat equity, being in front of people belly to belly, will still make more connections than your dollars ever will. Then use the math from today to calculate your maximum farm size at that budget mailed monthly. And if that number is under 250, start there. If it's higher, consider peeling back just a little bit just to make sure that you can be consistent for no less than 6 months. And then number 3, map your presence layers. Write down 1 action for physical, digital, and for relational that you can execute this month. Not this quarter, do something this month. I have the farming playbook that you can request in the link below. This playbook will help you decide what farming strategies that you want to take advantage of, what math to consider, and also how you could get started today with a $0 budget. Go ahead, click the link below and request the farming playbook. On this channel, my goal is to give you the tools that it takes in order to fundamentally build a 6-figure business from the start. So whether you are a brand new agent or you have a few deals under your belt, this channel is for you, and I'm so grateful that you're here. We're building this community together so that we can grow one another's businesses, and grow with one another in business. This is where next level agents are made, and I will see you in the next one.